لله رب العالمين لا ند له ولا ضد له ولا كفو له نحمده ونستعينه من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا التي تقربنا إلى نار جهنم لا ختام له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله لا نبي بعده أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا ومزكيا ومعلم الكتاب الذي فيه ليلة القدر أنزله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه المحبين له أيها الناس من عباد الله سبحانه اتقوا الله العظيم عز وجل وأطيعوه وأطيعوا رسوله وأوصيكم وإياي أولا بتقوى الله فلا تعبدوا إلا إياه إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون أي هم عاملون بما أمرهم به الله جل شأنه يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون كما أوجبه واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا أي ذقتم ألفته وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فانقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون يا من تريدون هدايته يا إخواني من ذكار الله خالق السماوات والأرض وحفظهما لا يقوله قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ورفع درجته ذاق طعم الإيمان من رضي بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا فإذا تكون الجنة مثواه وقال أيضا لا تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن 4 خصال عن عمره فيما أفناه وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه وعن عمله ماذا عمله فيه أو كما قاله يا أيها المجتمعون الكرام إتابعة لمن فرض علينا شريعته حماني الله وإياكم من شر الوسواس الخناس شدد الله تعذيبه وطول حياتنا في حب الله وحب من يحبه وحب رسوله وصحبه وأهل بيته وبحرمة حبهم رزقنا شفاعته وجعلنا من العاملين الفائزين الذين رضي الله عنا ورضوا عنه وذلك لمن خشي ربه وقال أعز من خائن عليم لا يحيط من علمه أحد إلا بما شاءه صدق وعده ونصر عبده أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. In the name of Allah I begin. The salat, the peace, the salat, the mercy, and the salam, the peace be upon our holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his holy household, the Ahl al-Bayt and his Sahabas, his companions, the Tabi'in wa Taba'a Tabi'in, his followers, and to the Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of judgment, and upon noble members of Islam and you and on me. First of all, my Islamic greetings to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are here in accordance with Allah's injunction and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's guidance and order to pray the Jum'ah, which is a compulsory prayer. Unfortunately, a lot of us here we think that only praying Jummah is most important and they do not pray the rest of the prayers. And there are some others who pray only the prayers of the Eid, the Eid al-Fitr or the Eid al-Adha, but they do not pray the any other Eids, but they think that these are the most important prayers. But on the contrary, they are just sunnats which they are praying as if they are more than fard, and the fard prayers which they are not praying. When I came here, I spoke to the administrators of this mosque and I was given to understand that most of the people coming here for prayer are working here in the nearby banks or the nearby offices and commercial institutes, but seldom they come here for the 5 times prayer. A couple of them do, a few of them come, but most of them do not come. They come only for the Jummah congregation. You might have your own excuses for not coming up, not showing up to the time of the prayer. You might really have some excuses. I'm not going into the investigation part of it. I'm here only to say that prayer is the most important thing. Without prayer, nothing can be achieved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, you are working in different companies, you know that your salary has been fixed for you, a perks has been made for you, a remuneration has been fixed for everybody at the end of the month on a weekly basis or a daily basis or a monthly basis, and there are after the accounting, the final year-end accounts, you are having, some people are entitled to some bonuses and some other perks and other entitlements. But supposing you have not gone to the duty, you have not reported the duty continuously for one whole month, and end of the month you go to the boss and say, boss, give me my salary, give me my pack, give me my remuneration. What would he say? Where were you all these days? He would ask. And you would tell him, no my dear boss, I have been imagining in my heart that I have been working in this company very hard. I have been canvassing for the company. I have been achieving the target. I have been achieving whatever the profit that I can make on behalf of the company. I have been canvassing, I have been advertising for the company. I have been selling the company products. I have been selling the company services. I have been imagining that I have been doing so. Give me my salary. What would he say? Would he not say, are you mad? Same way, Allah has given us salary in advance. When we were child, He put our parents to take care of us. That was the salary He gave us. When we will grow up, He put our parents to give us the clothes, the dress, nothing we asked for. We did not ask for the food they fed us. We did not ask for the dress they gave us. We did not ask for the education they educated us. We did not ask for the languages and politeness and how to behave in the society, the treatments, all that they gave us, we did not ask for. Without being asked, we were given. This is what Allah has given in advance as a salary advance. And what does He want from you? In return, He only wants you to pray. But if you can't do that, and if you think that, oh, worshipping Allah is in my heart, I have high regard for Allah, I have the high regard for the Holy Prophet ﷺ, I have the high regard for him in my heart, that is enough. This is not really enough. You are one of those lunatics who would go and ask for a salary to the boss at the end of the month by having imagined that he has been working for him throughout the year. You, if you are working in a military, you are given a uniform, they would tell you, come to report to the field at this time in the morning, do this exercise, make so many rounds, carry this weapon, clean this weapon, learn how to do it, learn how to shoot, learn how to climb, learn how to jump, learn how to walk in the fire. They teach you everything in the army. They give you a uniform. And against these services, they ask you to go and fight in the field when the time comes. They ask you to raise the guns and shoot at whomever they ask you to shoot. They ask you to defend the land. They ask you to do whatever is supposed to be expected from an army man to be done. On behalf of all this, against all this, He is giving you a salary, He is giving you a uniform, He is giving you perks, He is letting your children be educated, He is giving you free transport. Your children are eligible for a free treatment in the government and military hospitals. If you are injured, you are even eligible to have your treatment done in abroad. All that kind of perks is being given to you by the army. But if you are wearing the uniform, you are not going for the services. You are roaming around for the whole year, whole month, and then at the end of the day, you go to report to the captain, the warrant officer, the corporal, the commander, whoever it is. You tell him, give me my salary. The first thing he will do is he will remove your uniform. And he will put you behind the bars, and he will call for. He will set up a couple of police officers to make an inquiry to court-martial. Definitely court-martial you. This is what Allah is asking you to do. You are the army of Allah. You are supposed to pray the 5 times prayer that He is given. As the soldiers would say, march left, right, and they do. You are asked to say Allah Akbar, you bend down. When you are asked to say Sami Allahu liman hamdah, you raise your hand. When you say Assalamu alaikum, you all turn your hands and say Assalamu alaikum. So this is the command that Allah has given you as a Muslim army. If you do not pray the correct prayers on the time, if you do not pray the way that you are expected to pray, then what do you expect your boss, your Allah to give you the benefit? Say, please come and pray for me. I have been married so many years and I don't have a child. Say, my daughters are not getting married for so many years. Say, my son is get like this. My son is going astray. All this, we are not doing our duty, but we are only expecting the remuneration to be paid us. We are only expecting our salary to be paid us on time, but we don't do the duty. We don't execute the duty on time. We don't do it correctly. This is not correct. Most of the complaints that we come across, most of the problems that we face are caused by our own negligences. Whatever good things are done for us is given by Allah. Whatever the bad things happen to us is also given by Allah. But who is causing it? We are causing to be. We are the cause of that have to be being done for us. So Allah says He is never injustice to any of His slaves. We are all His slaves. Inna rabbakum laysa bizallamin lil abid. He doesn't do injustice to any of His slaves. Then what is the question of He favoring somebody, giving them money, making them rich? They can buy anything they want, eat anything they want, go anywhere they want. They can fly in the first class tickets. They can fly about in a very imported foreign cars, Mercedes Benz, or Rolls Royce for that matter. And there are few other people who do not even have a square meal, who are people who do not have enough clothes to wear, who do not have enough money to educate their children. How in the right sense, Ya Alim and Sahib, you are telling that Allah is equating everybody? He has never differentiated anybody from anybody. He has not done any injustice to anyone. I will tell you what. Supposing you are all, I know that most of you are educated, you are working in the banks, where highly salary paid, from your dresses, I can see that they are all posh dresses. Most of them at least are wearing decent dresses. Then definitely, I'm sure you are not one of those people who are downtrodden. You must be all properly well off. If not, you are not starving at least. I can tell you, you all have educated, you have passed classes. How many exams have you sat? Every year there is an exam before you could be promoted to the next class. So in this examination they give you a mark. For every answer that you write, for every reply you make, for every question that you attempt, if it's right, they give you a mark. It varies from, supposing if there is a mark of 5 marks, it varies from 1 to 5, you can gain anything, according to the reply that you do, according to the reply that you write. Similarly, if we were to give mark for all the bounties Allah has made to us, Allah has given us risk. Most people wrongly think that risk means money. No, not at all. Risk is not just money. Risk is not just He gives you a social status. Risk is not what He gives you to buy money with. No, it is not. He has given us eyes to see, a proper vision, clear vision, that is also risk. He has given us ears to listen, that is also risk. He has given us tongues to talk, taste, that is also vision. He has given us teeth to eat and to pronounce His zikr in a proper manner. Without teeth you may not be able to pronounce them properly. All these are rizq. Allah Ta'ala says, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ in Surah Alif Lam Mim that I recited some time back. Allah says, noble people, the pious people will spend from the rizq that I have given them, not just the money. If He has given you eyes, you must use it in the right path. You must use it for doing the right. What do we do our young generations? They log on to the sites which are showing all explicit figures of nude figures, pornographic literature. We are wasting our time, our young generation, we sometimes catch them off guard. We happen to see them from behind the shoulders. They are indulged in doing such things. So their risk is not being properly utilized. It's being utilized in the wrong manner. Allah has given us ears. You see a lot of our youngsters wearing the MP3, or they carrying their gadgets, whatever it is, songs, and especially those songs which is not in line with Islam, and they are enjoying the tunes and enjoying the female voices that is singing behind. This is not the way Allah has expected you to spend the rizq. He expects you to spend the rizq in the correct manner. Such of these people are those, when the praise of the Holy Prophet is sung, these are the people who will come forward and say, oh, this is against Islam, do not sing. When they themselves will be indulged in hearing such illegal things, such seeing illegal cinemas, such seeing illegal videos, they themselves will be enjoying and satisfying themselves, their nafs, satisfying their shaitanic nafs. But at the same time, when it comes to the praise of the holy man, they will come and bow. So Allah has given us this rizq. It has to be used in the right manner. Are we really using it? Are we seeing that our children, are we seeing that our brethren, are we seeing it our household people are properly utilizing their rizq? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly warned us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. You must protect yourself from the hellfire. And not only you, wa anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, and your people that who belong to you, your household members. It is your duty of one and each and every one to protect the family members from the evil forces. It is not just enough, you go to hell, you go to paradise. You have to see that your children pray on time. You have to see that your wife does it on time. You have to see that your servant does it on time. Your employee is following religion. It is your duty to see. If you don't, you will be punished. You will definitely be punished for not doing your duty. This is what Allah has told us. This spending from the rizq is not spending the money. You have to spend the resources that you have. If Allah has given you education, you have to use that education for the right path. If Allah has given you a thinking power, you should use your thinking power to in His way of life. If Allah has given you the writing capacity, if you are a writer, you should write it in the correct manner so that this rizq is being spent in the way that Allah desires you to spend. Unfortunately, most of our brethren, our youngsters are getting carried away by the worldly attraction. Suppose long ago, there were not much many distractions. There were very few distractions to take them away from the religious thought. Now we have everywhere distraction. Turn your head left, there are some girls walking in half naked. Turn your head right, there is some turf club which is advising you for a horse club race. Turn your head right, there is some doctor advertisement. Turn your head up, then you still hear somebody making a nuisance song, the nonsense song. Lift your head up, then you see an advertisement with a half-naked women advertising about some, say, bread. What does a woman has to do for a bread? Why do they have to have an advertisement of a lady, a half-naked lady, to advertise about a bread? What? Such nonsense we never think about. I am telling you, these are the hypocritic ways, these are the indirect ways of attack on Islam by the West. What do? They will try to find where is the market, which is the market for their products, and they will try to bring the people of that place into a highlight and tell them and try to sell their products. Let me make my vision very clearly. Let me make what I say clearly. You know, in India, so many times Indian ladies, Indian women have been chosen as the beauty queens, world beauty queens, Miss Universe, and so on. Why is that? Are there not any women in the world who can be? India is the biggest market. Only by making the beauty queens and putting them on the advertisements, they can sell their products. The West can easily sell their products. Please write it down, keep it right in the paper and check. I am telling you, the next beauty queen will hail from China. Because that is the next biggest market. That is going to the biggest market. So somebody has to come from China and they have to use them for selling their product in China. This is what is going to happen. This is happening. This is the indirect way of the West to keep you all engrossed in the illegitimate, in the humanizing, in the illegitimate method of living, by giving you open internet in the name of freedom of speech, the freedom of talk, freedom of thought. What is the freedom of talk? They can talk anything, they can write anything, they can say anything. What is happening today? The Americans, they have produced a movie against the Prophet ﷺ, ridiculing him, showing him as beautified, showing him the one who is to be most despised, in the name of calling the movie as the innocence of the Muslims. They are shown in the movie that Muslims are not innocent, but they are very bad. This is freedom of Islam. This is the freedom of press. Then why don't we can use the freedom of press for what I want? Why should the Americans get angry? Why should, for that matter, any West get angry? If one of the ulamas, one of the imams make lecture from the pulpit in the US about the freedom of speech, immediately the police comes in. How many times the imams in the US have been arrested? How many times they have been arrested for things like sedition? You know what is a sedition? Sedition is a talk or an act to incite against the established government, to topple the established government. That is called incite. When somebody talks about the government, to topple them, so the government immediately gets into action, say this is sedition, put him behind the bar. And where has your sense of freedom of speech gone? When it comes to you, when it is pointing at you, when it is affecting you, you talk about the freedom of speech, there is a limit. When it talks about Islam, there is no freedom of speech. Any Salman Rushdie can talk, any Betty Milder can act anything she wants, any director can shoot any movie, anybody can write anything, any Hillary Clinton can talk any nonsense. It's the freedom of speech. It's the same thing. If we do it, immediately they call it Islamic terrorism. The cause of world's agony and woe for the Muslims is Islamic terrorism. Who is pushing them to that corner? Who is pushing them to that corner of reacting violently? Freedom of expression has got two methods, two ways of expressing your expression. Expressing your methods, your opinion in a passive way, in a soft way, that you talk, you speak, you tell, and maybe you take a demonstration. Today I think they are going to have a demonstration in a soft manner. These are expression of your feeling in a passive manner, in a soft manner. There is the expression of your feeling in a rash manner, in a violent manner. That is, for the mildest of the example I can give you is, if the father is unhappy with the child, that the child is not doing the homework, the child is not studying, the child is not up to the mark in his household duties, he beats them. What is that? He beats them, he expresses his feeling in a violent manner. Everybody agrees with this. The father is trying to tame the child, the father is trying to correct the child, rectify the child. Okay, to some extent, you cannot inflict injury to the child. To some extent, we can create fear so that the child will listen to you, so that the child will come into the righteous path. But if the same father, in his capacity as a husband, if he beats the wife, what happens then? Do you call it a freedom of expression in a violent manner? She has got the right to go to the court, she goes to the police, then it becomes a case. It becomes an offense. Neither the society accepts it, nor the law accepts it. So it is an expression, a freedom of expression has got a definition, a definite limit should be there. Without a limit, you cannot say that there is a freedom of expression. The liberals should not be hypocritic in applying the freedom of press and freedom of expression and freedom of thought when it comes to Islam in one manner, and when it comes to non-Islam, and when it protects, when it inserts their own interests, when it conflicts with their own interests in a different manner. You know, if in Libya, if the Americans were attacked, I do not claim that the people who were attacked in Libyans were the main cause of this nonsense film. They are innocent, yes. But who is pushing this agitated person into that corner? It is a failure of the authorities in the American government to stop this movie, even after they know that this is against Islam, even after they know that there is a lot of protest from all the corners of the world. They just ignored it. If doing a crime is a crime, abetting a crime is also a crime. If somebody is stealing, and if I help him to steal, if I give him the right tools to break the cupboard, to remove the safe, to take the money, then I am also to be punished because I am abetting the crime. Similarly, if the Libyans, for example, made an attack on the American embassy, who pushed them to that corner? The American government pushed them to that corner. Then they are also to be punished for this crime. If the Libyans who attacked should be punished, the Americans who kept their mouth shut, the Madrians who kept themselves away from condemning this bad film, is also equally responsible. They have abetted this crime. Who is there to talk? Whenever you bring something against in the United Nations, there is always a veto power. What kind of samadharma samudayam is this? What kind of equal parity of the society of the equal status is this? When everybody will come in, when everybody will put in their opinion, only 5 of them will have the power to say yes or no. This is not what Allah has taught us. This is not what Islam has taught us. This is not, for that matter, any religion has taught us. This is not even Christianity, that one should overrule the thoughts of the thinking of the other. Somebody wax your cheek, show the other thing. So that is what the Christianity has taught us. Christianity has not taught us to subdue. Christianity has not taught us to overrun the views of other people. What is the United Nations doing? The United Nations is not doing the correct way things should have been done. If all the members of the United Nations had the same equal power, if they all had the same voting rights, if all had the same veto powers, do you think that the Jews, the Israelis are doing atrocities to the Palestinians? Do you think that the Muslims will be kicked around in the world like a football in every corner of the world? Unless there is an equality among the people, there is not going to be justice. If justice denied, is justice delayed, is justice denied. But here, justice is not delayed, justice is denied and denied and denied to all the rest of the world. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that He has created us equally. None of us are. He has not done any injustice to any of us. That is what we were talking about. And meanwhile, we have been dragged into a lot of other topics, so we are coming to the main topic again. So he says that there are a lot of poor people who cannot afford, and there are rich people who can afford. How can you answer Shehangle, how you are able to match them, that they are all equal? As I told you, in the examination we have marks. Supposing we give marks for all the rizqs that Allah has given us. As I told you, rizq is not just money, it is everything that Allah has given you. For the eyesight, for every minute of the eyesight that you have, you give them 1 mark. For the hearing power, if you give some marks, 5 marks for example. For the capacity to walk, you are able to walk. The mobility, you are not lame. For that, if you are given a mark. Whatever you eat, it digests. Your digesting power has got 5 marks. You are able to have your children, it has got some 5 marks. Some people have not conceived. You are able to think, that has got some mark. Some people are not able to think. You are able to do what you want, like whatever you like, you are able to write. Some people do not know how to write. What is letter? They are illiterate. If you give mark for everything that a man is getting, from the day he is born till the day he is dead, and if you equate, everybody with scale will trip the same. There will be a rich man who has got all the money. He will invite you for a dinner, he will go to you, but he will be just standing and he will be going to he will just supply serving the food. Tell him, no, the doctor has prohibited me, I can't eat this. Happening or not? So you are able to eat a sweet because you are not diabetic. There's a rich man there who is diabetic who can't eat sweet. So don't give him that 5 marks, and you give a 5 marks to the person who is able to eat sweet even at old age. There is a rich man, for example. I am not targeting a rich man, I am just giving an example. The rich man, for example, if he walks on the road, nobody respects him. They all think that he is a very cunning man. He has made his money in a wrong way. He never gives money to zakat to the poor people. They don't respect him, for example. There are people who do charity very well. With and without the knowledge of other people, they do the charity. Without the right hand knowing what the left hand gives, without the left hand knowing what the right hand gives, there are people who do the charity. I do not say no. It's an example. And there is somebody who is a poor man, he walks on the road, immediately everybody gets and salutes him. Because he commands him respect. He is an Ansai, for example. He is a Wazir in the mosque. Immediately when he walks, these people get up and they give him respect. It comes out of the heart. But this poor, this rich man, also a couple of people will say salam. From where does the salam come from? Does it come from the heart? Or does it come from the lip? And for this gentleman who is revered, who is respected in the society, where does the salam come from? It comes from the heart. If you give a mark for this, some mark for this, and minus marks for this, in that way, in that manner, there are children. People have so many children, some do not have children. The children they have, they are not listening to the father, they are aft. Aft is a person who makes the parents bleed blood tears. It's called, the man who makes the parents cry, the man who makes the parents unhappy is called the Aqul Walid. If a person is like that, he makes the parents feel unhappy, what is the use of having such children? You can count them that he has got a children. So a man may not be having children, maybe only one child, but the child, that son, may be so much loving for the father. If the father is having sugar, he can't eat sugar. This man also forgoes his sugar because his father is not eating sugar. He doesn't wear a good dress because his father does not have a good dress. But such are the people sometimes you come across. So if you give a mark for everyone at this rate, not one soul in the world is greater than the other soul in the world. That is for sure. Inna rabbakum laysa Allah bizallamin lil abid. Allah has never differentiated. If that is the way Allah has given us, why should we not come and pray on time? Why should we, people who are employed in this office, should always blame our office duties that we do not have time to come and pray? Are we having more work than the Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam? He had so much of job, so much of work to do, so much of kingdoms to control, so many jinns and so many people to he has to rule upon them. How much of accounts he had to do every day? Was he not sincere in his prayers? Did he falter? Did he default in his prayers? If you are going to blame our